Welcome to another edition of the South Centers Chat. My name is Tom Worley. I serve as director of Ohio State University South Centers. It's a great pleasure to have our research staff on our program, and we have a new staff member, Mohammad A Rahman. Stay tuned. We're going to hear from him in just a second. Welcome again to this edition of South Centers Chat. My name is Tom Worley. I serve as director at OSU South Centers. It's my great pleasure to have as our guest today Mohammad A Rahman. And Mohammad has just joined us earlier this month from a university up in upstate New York. And it's a great pleasure to have Mohammad with us. He has joined our team in the soil, water, and bioenergy program, and he has a lot of experience and expertise, especially in technical analysis within our soil and water lab. So we're going to begin with a little background, Mohammad. Welcome to the chat today. It's a great pleasure to have you here. And what we might start with is if you cared to share with us some of your background in terms of your where your native home is and the course of studies that you pursued prior to coming to the United States. That might be a good way to get us started.
Thank you, Tom. It's my great pleasure to have with you chat regarding my research, my background, and my future plan at South Center, Ohio State University. I've been all through an analytical chemist, especially for the analysis of soil, water, and environment. I did my bachelor in the University of Dhaka in the Department of Chemistry, and also I did my MS in the same field, chemistry. Then I got the Fulbright scholarship to move Japan. I did my PhD over there.
Now, just Dhaka is Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And this is in neighboring India, just for the geography of the background, Mohammad. And so your studies took place in your homeland initially, and then Japan.
Yes.
Okay. That's very fascinating. Let me ask you about Japan. Were your studies in English in Japan? Where did you pick up English skills along the way?
All the courses, everything, research is in English. Only for the communication with the people, just I took the Japanese language.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And after returning from Japan to Bangladesh, I joined University of Dhaka, Bangladesh as a lecturer. And then I continued my job. So I promoted assistant professor, and then I again promoted to associate professor. And I have already supervised 25 MS in the field of analytical and environmental chemistry field. And I was a PI and co-PI in many national and international projects.
Wow. Could you just hit a couple highlight projects that stand out in your mind that some of your students did and that you were involved with at Dhaka?
Yes. For example, one project I could remember, the mobilization of arsenic along with manganese, iron, and nickel from the upper state to down state, especially in the river stream. So, you know, the rivers originated in my country from Nepal, and it comes through India and fallen to Bangladesh, and from Bangladesh to its Bay of Bengal, the big ocean. That's why so much arsenic is coming through the riverbed sediments. That's why there was a project like how the arsenic is mobilized from sediment from Himalaya to Bangladesh. Bangladesh has a lot of problems in drinking water, especially arsenic is drinking water. So a lot of people had been and has been suffering for arsenicosis disease,
Wow.
is cancer. That's why I took the project, and we have a big team, and we had been doing very, very good job for the like mobilization checkup and also find out some remediation measure. So I did that things.
Did you come up with a solution, the remediation methods of how to either measure or detect the levels of arsenic in the drinking water?
Yes, any kind of mobilization related work, you have to have a very sophisticated instrument in our laboratory. So I had that things, and I also developed remediation technology using low cost method, using some waste material. I can tell one example, rice husk. After harvesting, and we collect the rice, but from like to take the grain rice, you are like leaving some waste material, rice husk or straw of the rice plant. So that things I use and dry, I made activated charcoal, especially. Then charcoal we had used to remove arsenic through a column technology.
Okay.
Both in continuous method and also like stagnant method.
Okay. So did you go out and train farmers or local people that could perform these tests?
Yes, we did this because it is low cost.
Okay.
They could make their home and they could use without buying sophisticated like filter technology.
Right.
Because filter is costly, so the agricultural people, they don't have enough money to buy every month this kind of filter.
Right.
So we transferred this technology to the villagers and the people, and they appreciate.
So it involves a charcoal filter before the water is actually used for drinking or any purpose. I take it doesn't have to be drank in liquid form to cause the human health problems. It could be used for washing or washing clothes. Arsenic is pretty serious business. I think we know it as a poison here.
Yes, well, because this is very easy technology, just like burning the rice husk and like making charcoal or carbon and then fill in a column and passing the water. We have a lot of like hand tube well. So usually agricultural people or village people, they use this, not like water supply in a city.
Right.
So they take the water out and they put into a drum and add that charcoal tube and made a tap with that. So drop by drop, water is coming through that activated charcoal and arsenic removed.
Wow, wow. What a process that you came up with. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and also a lot of actually technology we developed, because I had my own lab and group, and also so many professors also work with me, and under their guidance I also developed so many things thanks to them, because you know, individually you cannot solve critical problems.
Right.
So research collaboration is important.
Right.
So I got that opportunity to work with the senior professors and renowned scientists in my country, especially University of Dhaka, Department of Chemistry.
Wow, wow. So is that process still in use today in Bangladesh in many areas, the charcoal filtration?
Many areas they have been using, but they are not satisfied. You know, people doesn't want to work hard, especially like burning charcoal or put it into the. They want something ready-made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that they can purchase.
Yeah, they want to. So, but not yet. We actually like market. It is not in the market because we didn't do that because it needs money.
Right.
Our main goal was cost effective.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That's why we didn't get chance to make it market or popularize into the peoples. So there are a lot of technology going on, even from US, even from Europe. People have been working to solve like something very handy so that they can remove arsenic from water.
Right. And I realize in the rural areas, in villages and so forth, we have a lot of small towns and rural residents that rely on well water. not a public system, but is in Bangladesh, in the cities, are there well-developed municipal systems that deliver potable water that they treat the arsenic situation ahead of time?
Yes. One thing I can tell you, the city, especially Dhaka, the water doesn't contain any arsenic. That's why we are lucky enough. We don't need to go for that kind of treatment technology. Just river water, and they are treating the municipal corporation, and they are supplying, like water supply board, they are supplying water to us. So we are happy that the water doesn't have arsenic. Only for few areas, especially in countryside, they are suffering the arsenic.
Right, right.
And one important thing is awareness. People say, our grandfather also drinking the water, they didn't have arsenicosis, we will not have arsenicosis. Whatever you tell is just like you are saying in chemical laboratory, but in our life, we didn't find any problem.
I see.
But in practically, when we visited village, we checked the people hands and legs have some cancer, especially it's called arsenicosis, like something breaking the skin.
Oh, it's a skin
hard
related.
surface, hard surface of the skin. But we made them believe that yes, you have arsenic. And so many people, so many NGO and also government agency put the red mark, like the tube oil, they put ink red. Red means this is not safe. And we put it so many tube oil green mark, that meaning that you can drink this water because it's safe.
Okay.
Now it's going on.
So it varies from place to place as to what the level of the arsenic is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Fascinating. We got to leave this subject, I think, and move ahead. But it's not meant to be a total program on arsenic poisoning and contamination. But the question would be on pregnant women and infants. Is it a bigger problem when children are very small, or even as they're developing through pregnancy?
Well, this is a very important issue. Like, people have been using this arsenic containing water every day, even food, whatever.
Right.
And another challenge is arsenic is mobilized from soil, water to food chain. That is also, so we did many projects regarding these things, and we found not everything is contaminated.
Okay.
It depends on the plant, agriculture, plant to plant, like how deep the root is. Okay. So because the water is moving, there is a limit. So how much they have uptaking capability. So we did so many projects, but some areas I found little arsenic into the food chain, but not everywhere.
Right.
That makes us happy that yes, our food chain is not contaminated with arsenic.
Excellent.
And like blood testing, we took sample nails, especially nail and hair. If you want to analyze, you will find arsenic into the nails and hair.
No.
So we tested these things in the laboratory. Yes, some area has arsenic in the nail and hair.
Okay.
And if I tell about the chemistry, actually, arsenic is the same group of phosphorus. So in our human body, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So phosphorus and arsenic are a similar nature. So arsenic, when enter into the body, arsenic replaces the phosphorus. That's why is cancer produced.
So I was like, oh, wow.
That's why is a awareness, like if arsenic contaminated area, people drinks water, they have to take care of that, and they have to test the blood as well.
So arsenic would be the #1 problem in the water.
Yeah.
Mercury contamination, is that an issue? No. We sometimes hear about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And just before we leave Bangladesh, how large a country population-wise is Bangladesh?
Oh, it's a huge 160 million people in a small country.
Right, and when you say small country, can you relate that to one of our states? Maybe is it the size of Texas, or?
If I could say I was in New York State. It is smaller than New York State.
In land area
Yeah.
with 160 million people. So I think our audience can get a perspective of how densely populated Bangladesh is, and this situation with water and groundwater and is a very critical issue that Mohammad is talking about. Well, I appreciate knowing about that and learning that. Sounds like a very important issue that you were involved with in your research program back in Bangladesh. So you're going along and you're doing well as a professor in Bangladesh, and then some opportunity arose. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, opportunity, every time's come up, but you need to figure out which opportunity you have to take. And Bangladesh is not developed country, it's developing country.
Right.
That's why most of the people has the intention to move and work with the people in developed country like USA, United States of America, because you have technology, you have everything, you have money. So that's why I had a dream to come over here and work with the people like you. All are like very smart and technologically very sound. That's why I got the opportunity at Clarkson University. When they asked, I applied and I got the opportunity and I immediately moved.
And this was the university in upstate New York in the city of Potsdam,
Yeah.
which is very near the Canadian border, as I understand.
Yeah, that's why I used to go Montreal, Ottawa and Toronto because it's very close
Wow.
from my place.
Yeah, less than 100 miles.
Yeah, just like it takes 46 or 7 minutes from my place to Ottawa.
Wow, wow. And you had a lot of students from Canada at Clarkson University as well, as I recall.
Yes, actually I had been teaching at Clarkson University, especially General Chemistry 1, General Chemistry 2, their associate labs, Environmental Chemistry, and Hazardous Waste Management and Engineering.
Wow.
So I found so many students from Canada. And you can ask why so many students from Canada? Because they are good players, especially ice hockey. Clarkson was an ice hockey women champion. Okay, that's why they got the waiver. If you are a good players, they moved to Clarkson University and they are able to study without paying anything.
On a scholarship.
Yes, scholarship.
And this was women's hockey teams.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's
that-
very famous.
Yes. So your university won a lot of championships in
Yeah.
their league?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was fascinating. I think you related that when you spoke with us before you came, that Clarkson was such a big hockey school, especially when it came to women's. They have a men's team as well, I presume?
Men's team, but men's team are not champion, but they're really, really doing well.
Competitive?
Yeah.
Right, right. And Clarkson, I think, is a private university, as I recall.
Yes.
Yes.
It's private.
And I think you gave me a figure that still sticks in my head about the tuition fee at Clarkson University is quite high. You want to relate that just quickly?
Yes, because it's very expensive. Because job getting rate is so high. Mostly 98%. Students get the job after graduation. That's the biggest, if a student study, if they don't get job, no meaning. That's why they come there. Even small university, and especially engineering is very, very good.
Okay.
And technology. So that is actually mostly technological university, but they have every subject,
Right.
mostly.
Right, right. Well, that's a very, very high placement rate. I think our OSU rate would be under that, but yet I think it ranks pretty well across the country, but it wouldn't approach 98%. I think our college of food, agriculture, environmental science, that within 6 months of graduations, our graduates, 92% are either employed or have entered a advanced graduate program. within 6 months of their graduation with their undergraduate degree. So 98%, that's getting pretty close to 100, isn't it? That everybody finds a job or goes on to graduate school. So, well, so you spent, I think it was about 4 years at Clarkson?
Yes,
Yes.
I spent 4 years.
And you were involved in what kind of research activity there? As I recall, it had something to do with biomass and analytical chemistry related to biomass. You want to tell us a little bit about that work?
Yeah, upstate New York is very cold, very, very cold. So people used to use biofuels, especially wood pellets. So wood or plants, they considered as a crops, so huge plants. So they make wood pellets, they sell it, and also they export in European Union.
Okay.
The biggest, US is the biggest exporter of that kind of biofuels.
So wood pellets, as goes in a pellet stove as we know them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an issue related to like uncomfortable, and also someone is going to die like this in Europe when, like, if you enter in a big wood pallet store or store inside, like closed many days, if you open suddenly, you will be exposed carbon monoxide, the deadly poison.
Okay.
So there was 13 issue already reported in the journal and news that things that carbon monoxide is really, really bad, which is off-gassing from the wood pellets.
As it's stored in enclosed warehouses, this gas builds up.
Yes.
Monoxide, carbon monoxide, is what comes out the tailpipes of our cars, at least portion.
Yeah. So that's why, like, since is a money-making things, U.S. people are exporting that things and earning $1 billion, and we have in U.S. 192 like pallets industry, wood pallets industry.
Oh, different companies or different plants producing wood pellets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to figure out like how do we stop that. So initially, my boss Philip K. Hopke, and he was one of the leader in this field. He asked me to find out some solution and mechanism. So we figured out the mechanism how the carbon monoxide off-gassing happening and the chemistry mechanism, and we figured out that the fatty acid and also as well as hemicellulose inside the wood are responsible for that. And fatty acid producing hydroxyl radical, the radical react with the fatty acid and as well as hemicellulose. So it produces huge amount of carbon monoxide.
And this off-gassing into the air.
Yeah, in the air. And because all around our environment we have oxygen.
Right.
So it reacts oxygen and it's produce this kind of hydroxyl radical. So we wanted to stop the production of hydroxyl radical, which is the main things to produce carbon monoxide. So we stopped that production by exposing ozone. So how to stop this in situ process in industry? So we had been working with the industry during their production and exposed ozone, and we saw that yes, the amount of carbon monoxide production going down if we expose ozone on the surface of the fiber of wood, like sawdust.
Okay, so that neutralizes this process then, right? Excellent.
So we made a patent for that as well.
Ah, very good, very good. Good for you. Well, I know our time is winding down here, so I want to get to your departure from Clarkston and joining us here at The Ohio State University and our program here in soil, water, and bioenergy. And of course, bioenergy is kind of related to some of the wood biomass and the pellet that you talked about. But just more in general, Mohammad, would you share a little bit about what attracted you to Ohio and Ohio State University from up there in New York?
Well, Ohio is a real US. It's people like I met so many agricultural people, the production, and is a food hub of Midwest. Ohio producing a lot of corns, soybean, agricultural product, fruits, berry. So Yes, since I have expertise in analysis, environment, analytical chemistry, and food chemistry as well, so I wanted to work in this area. Especially Ohio State University is one of the topmost university in US and biggest university, and here I found a lot of opportunity to work and various kind of fields here, and especially South Center, the laboratory I need, my dream, I have all the things here so that I could help especially South Center and as well as the people around here, especially agricultural people, farmers, so that I can transfer the technology, for example, how to enrich the nutrient in the fruits or agricultural product, how to remove the contaminants before production, how to clean up the soil, how to enrich the soil with various nutrients, cover crops. Here also one important issue is the phosphorus. Huge phosphorus I found in soil and water, especially Lake Erie.
Right, right. We've had our problems.
I have been working to find out the remediation technology development. So I have a plan how to remediate phosphorus from water and soil, how to manage that phosphorus. And because I want to stop the eutrophication problem, especially in Lake Erie, like all are green and algae bloom,
right?
Okay, cyanotoxin production. So that's why I have a plan to propose this kind of application and proposal to the grant body.
Perfect.
And also Ohio State University so that I could work.
Right.
And before that, I would also monitor the phosphorus as well.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we would have the same issue going on in our Ohio River, just to the south of us, even closer to home here at South Centers in Piketon, that there is an algae issue that arises even in the Ohio River. And of course, we're very adjacent to the Scioto River, which is just short of where the mouth jumps into the Ohio and so forth. So your work in that area will be very, very interesting, beneficial. I think you'll find a ready interest in supporting that type of research project. The university is involved with a lot of other partners up in Northwest Ohio to try to address the Lake Erie issues, and I think what you're describing can benefit both efforts all across the state. So we're very excited that you have the expertise that you do. So just with a couple minutes to go, tell me a little bit about our lab and some of the things that you've been working on. Our equipment, I think we had some equipment that needed some fine-tuning and some restarting, and do you want to share just a little bit about that? I don't need to get too technical because I won't understand, and I'm sure we'll have very few people in our audience, but you've been busily getting our lab in order.
Well, the South Central Laboratory is well equipped. It has a lot of instrument, ICP, it has GC, it has SPLC, it has LCMS, it has fluorescence spectrophotometer, it has many basic tools. So all are running now. I could help to analyze soil pollution, metal pollution, water pollution, air pollution through this instrument, because whatever you are going to do, you have to first analyze, and you need to know what is the level of the contaminants.
Get a baseline established.
And also agriculture, what is the nutrient level in the agricultural product.
Right.
We have a special project I found here, aspirin. You are inserting aspirin drug into plant and it giving huge production. So I have also planned to analyze that kind of
yes.
agricultural products to our laboratory, because laboratory is very good, and we can also serve other people if they want, or agriculture farmer if they want. I can analyze their samples. I can give the information what they have, what they produce, and what is the basic requirement. If they want to export somewhere, you know, there is a quality control issue, so I can help, especially farmers. If they want to analyze their soil, manure, fertilizer, we have every facilities in our center.
Excellent.
So we could help them.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I think we've almost gone full circle from Bangladesh, starting with the arsenic problem in the groundwater, to the situation here in America, where we've discovered that some foods are more nutrient-rich than others. So our thing is healthy soil, healthy water, produces healthy food, which contributes to our health. And they're all interconnected and intertwined. And Mohammad, I think it's very exciting to have you you and to have your capabilities as an analytical chemist to head up our lab work and that analysis and to share that with colleagues here at Ohio State University as well as other academics, and then your practical capability to address it to farmers and agricultural producers. So we're very excited about the future of our program here at South Centers in the soil, water, and bioenergy area. So I want to take this moment to thank you for taking time out here early on. I'm sure we'll have opportunity to follow up as you get some further projects underway and have some results to share. We'll get to visit again on a future South Centers chat. But thanks again for taking time out to visit with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
All right.